This is what we're making today. It's a good dish. Wait till you try it. Hello, welcome to Texas Cooking Today. This episode, we're going to be making one of my favorite dishes. This is a chicken dish, and it is wonderful. Pollo con Champinones. Okay, I know it's a strange sounding name. That's Hispanic or Spanish. It's a Hispanic dish. It's literally translated chicken with mushrooms. Pollo con Champinones. This is a fantastic recipe. It's easy to make, you can do it quickly, and you're gonna absolutely love the flavors. Once you've tried this, oh, there's no going back. Something I want to mention before we get into the ingredients here and get started on this, I've got some links in my description box. I've started a Wisio account, and what that is a way of creators like me interacting with their audience, okay? It's a little different from Patreon in that you're not making a monthly commitment or anything. You're just going and making arrangements for me to do a video with you. So there's one-on-one interaction going on there. If you have questions you want to ask me, or some serious, long questions about cooking, or if you need a specific demonstration on how to do one specific thing, heck, that's not a problem. I can help you with it. Check my Wisio. That link is in the description box along with my website where you get the recipes and lots of other good stuff. Come over, let's look at this stuff. Let's see what we got to cook with. Let's get busy making probably one of the best tasting dishes I know of, Pollo con Champinones. Come on over. I've got some great ingredients here. Look at this stuff. We got beautiful chicken breasts. These are boneless, skinless chicken breast. Got some mushroom caps. These are a portobello type cap. Basically, when you get into smaller portobellos, they call them creminis, okay? So this is a cremini. It's a baby portobello, and it is absolutely wonderful. Well, the baby ports are just a little bigger than this is what they call them. But when this size or smaller, that's called a cremini. These are poblanos. You can also substitute bell pepper, Anaheim chili, or other types of chilies for this if you want. I think poblano gives the best flavor for this dish. Also, I have some sour cream, salt, seasoned pepper, and back there we have some cream. That's heavy cream, and we're going to be making a sauce with all of these items and grilling those chicken breasts to put with that sauce. Once it's cooked up, it's a truly fantastic dish. Folks, I need to scorch the skin off of these chilies. That begins right here. Now what I do is I just put them directly in a flame. You can do this on a grill. You can do it directly on a gas burner like this. You can do it in an oven if you only have electric, so do it in an oven under a broiler. Get these as close to the broiling element as possible. And then once they start to blister, put them in a plastic bag. It'll finish sweating that skin off of there after about 10 to 15 minutes in that plastic. I have scorched my skins, and all I have to do now is get the skin off of there. Now folks, it's as easy as just grab that skin and pull it off. You see there? If you want to just remove all of it like this, go right ahead. You don't end up having to wash it, and you retain that wonderful charry flavor that it has. Or if you prefer to give it a wash, go ahead. Either way works. Both are, one is advantageous in flavor for char, but the other is just a little cleaner to the sauce. Your choice, your way, but go ahead and get that skin off. I'm gonna wash mine, and then I'll get busy prepping these by slicing them, as well as those mushrooms. I have everything ready to go here. I have my chilies cooked. Well, not cooked, but the skin removed. And we have the mushrooms ready to go. I've already removed the stems on these, and I'm gonna recommend that you just make some average little slices. They don't have to be too narrow. You're looking for about, 3/16 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch might be a little bit wide. It would be okay. You can go ahead and use it that way. There we go. Now, in the event you're wondering, why is he wearing gloves? Well, folks, Simple enough. When you're handling chilies, as I was doing earlier, and as I will be doing here in just a moment, chilies contain an oil called capsaicin. Capsaicin is very hot. Capsaicin can burn your skin. As you've noticed from, if you've ever eaten a jalapeno, it burns your tongue, okay? Well, if you get it on your skin, it can burn sensitive skin. For instance, you may not feel it on the palms of your hand, depending on you, but you will definitely feel it if it gets on your face or something like that. It can burn. So let's say you have some of that capsaicin on your fingers, and 3 or 4 hours later you scratch under your eye, and suddenly your eyes are tearing up and watering and they're burning, and it's all because of that oil that's very, very hard to wash off. Do yourself a favor, just wear gloves. Be done with it, okay? It is cleaner. It's nicer. It looks good for your guests, okay? So it just works out, all right? Now, on these, whenever you're slicing a chili, especially if it has the skin on, turn it inside out. And that way the chili slices easier and it will go through that skin much easier, okay? Now, if you're just slicing them after you've prepped them the way we've done here, then very easy, they'll slice on the inside or outside. Now these, I don't want to cut them down much, but I just don't want that full length chili in this dish. So I'm going to just half them, and that way it's going to be a little bit cleaner once I go to prepping my dish. Okay? When I say cleaner, you don't have, I don't want my guests to have to go dealing with a real long strand of chili, trying to wrestle that on their fork, when I could just go ahead and be nice enough to make it short enough for them to begin with, right? Well, I'm getting everything ready, all laid out. This is the way I like to cook. They call it the setup method. French came up with this some time back, and it works like a charm. You get everything ready, and that way when it comes time to cook, you focus only on the cooking. Now, at the beginning of season 7, I mentioned that we were going to be working on timing. This season is about timing out our meals, getting things to work because they all come together at the same time. I don't want this sauce setting and skinning over while my chicken breasts are cooking. I don't want my chicken breasts getting cold while the sauce is cooking. So I need to do things at the right order. My grill takes 12 minutes to heat. This pan takes about 5 to 6 minutes to heat. All right, I need the pan at a searing temperature before I start cooking. I need that grill at a searing temperature before I start cooking. So I'm gonna start it heating, and then I'll come in here and turn on this burner. As soon as this pan is hot, I'm gonna start cooking the vegetables. Now, as the vegetables have gotten cooked and I'm just getting the cream in here, those breasts are gonna be hitting the fire, okay? The breasts take 4 minutes per side. This will bubble down and simmer, and it'll rest for a few minutes. It'll be just fine for a few minutes, okay? As the breasts are coming in off of the grill, we then plate everything up and we have a gorgeous dish. So, it's timing. That's all there is to it. I have just lit my grill. I'm going to give it about 12 minutes to preheat. Now, it's a windy day, so if I give it a few extra minutes, that won't hurt. I also have some wood in the back of my gas grill. It is to produce smoke, so I'll get a nice smoky flavor on my chicken breasts as I cook them. When I do this on my grill, works like a charm, folks. Give it a try, you'll like it. Now, on this right here, I'm going to start this pan when it comes time. Now, I can start it now, but this will be finished a few minutes early. I would kind of like for this to be finishing up when I'm pulling that off of the grill. Okay, so again, timing. I do have about a 5 to 6 minute window here that I can just kind of take life easy, not worry about it, let this rest for a moment, and then get this started a little later. Okay, so if I want to start this 6 minutes into preheating the grill, that works. All right, timing. It's all about timing when you're cooking. And if you ever go into a commercial kitchen, it's much more about timing than you can imagine. So you kind of got to learn that rhythm. We are waiting for our grill. Now these right here, I can go ahead and season, and that's as simple as I only want the same seasoning I would do on a steak. All right, so it's just simple, just a light sprinkling of salt, and I'm going to use some seasoned pepper here. Now I'm not disclosing brand names because frankly they didn't pay me, so I'm not going to tell you who I'm using. All right, now very, very good tasting stuff though. Seasoned peppers, I think you should give them a try. This is an old one that's been around since the 60s, and you know, since I was a kid, I've been eating that, and it just absolutely works. There we are. Isn't that simple? Light, easy, not making it difficult. All right, I've got about 8 minutes until my grill has finished preheating. I want to go ahead, light up this, and get a medium-high heat under it. The thing of it is, I'm going to be doing searing, and it's not to sear meat. The idea here is I need a really high temperature to bring out the best flavors in both the mushrooms as well as in these poblanos. The poblanos are going to turn sweet, and the mushrooms are just going to release flavor like it's nobody's business. I do need to mention though, when you go cooking mushrooms like this, and you're going to put them in some oil, those mushrooms are going to soak that oil up like a sponge. Be prepared for that. Be prepared to add a little extra oil in the cook. It's not going to hurt anything, and it won't hurt the mushrooms to soak up some oil. It'll make them taste good, and they won't get out of place in the sauce. We'll just say it that way. They stand up a little better. Let's put some water in our pan. Okay, some of it's beating up, but some of it is, well, it's not fully hot. Let's put it that way. You notice how it sizzled off pretty quick? All right, if it sizzles off quick, that means your pan's not hot enough. Now, if I put water in here and it beads up and just kind of rolls and skates around and kind of comes into a single ball and just glides around in there without sizzling off, that's when the pan is hot enough. And that's one of the ways we know how to test our pans to know if they're hot enough. If you're, let's say you're going to cook scallops, your pan has to be hot enough to sear, and if it isn't, you're going to ruin your scallops. All right, it's just that simple. This is now hot enough. Let's try that water again. So I put more water in there this time so you could see the effect better. You see that, what's going on there? That's called the Leidenfrost effect. That is a vapor barrier is formed between the water and that pan, and that's what's keeping it from sizzling off. Isn't that cool? Very, very, very cool. All right, let's do this. Generally, it's smart to go ahead and dry your pan before you put oil in it, because if there's a water droplet, it can cause popping and spattering a lot. There we are. That olive oil just smells so good. I'm going to reduce my heat a little bit. Let those cook. So my timer says 1 minute left. 1 minute, I'll be putting my chicken out there on the grill, and we will be cooking with gas, as it were. All right. Okay. Let me turn my heat down a little. Now I can smell that mesquite. Oh, and it is smoking back there. All right, that's windy. Kind of hard to tell, but it is smoking. So these, I want them to go down with the top face down first so I can get some good grill marks. I want to leave those there for 4 minutes, and then we're going to turn them over. Now look at that. They've absorbed most of the oil, and I had to add a little extra. So now I put these on top. Just a tad bit more oil there, not much. A little bit of salt. The next thing will be these items. So what I'm looking for here is flavor release. I want these to open up and give us their flavor. And as that happens, we get that beautiful mushroomy flavor. We get a little bit of that poblano flavor going on. And in the end, we end up with this beautiful sauce that's absolutely indescribable. When you put mushrooms and poblanos together, they work. All right. Look at this. The aroma that's come up from this is incredible. And look how beautiful. This is just a gorgeous dish. So what I want to do now, I'm push this stuff to the side. And we'll get the sour cream right down in here. Alrighty. I want a little fresh cream there. I'll start with about a half a cup. Now I will mention, if you would like to bump the acid on this just a little bit, it doesn't take a whole lot of it. Use just the tiniest bit of lime juice in there. It will set off the flavors of the dish quite well. So I have a little right here. Doesn't take much. See what I use there? About a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. However, what it's going to do in lifting the flavors of this sauce is incredible. Isn't that nice? Now let's work these back into it. And all we have to do is just let this sit and cook for a few minutes. And once it has, it's ready for our chicken. Absolutely beautiful sauce. Look at this. We'll just give this a couple of minutes. I don't need it to bubble real high. I just need like a low simmer going on so it cooks it. There we are. And it will need nothing more than just a little time to finish cooking it up. And 2 minutes left on our chicken breast and about 3 minutes left on the cook for that sauce. So the timing is absolutely perfect on this. The quantity of everything that I've used today starts right here. We did 2 chicken breasts. Now this can be stretched a little bit and do 3 if you want, but really if you want them nice and saucy, do 2. 2 chicken breasts, 2 poblanos, a half a pound of cremini mushrooms. That was 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms that I used. And then I had about 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, half a teaspoon of salt, about a half a teaspoon of that seasoned pepper, and anywhere from a half to a cup of the whipping cream. Now you want to add just enough of that to make that sauce flow smooth and for there to be plenty of it. All right, so that's how much on that, and it really kind of varies to how much you've cooked down the rest of it. All right, and how much moisture is present. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Very easy dish to make. Let's take a look at what it looks like when it's all finished up. All right, let's drop that heat. Look at this, absolutely stellar looking sauce. Oh, wow. So what I wanna do, I wanna start by getting some sauce right here, right in the middle of my pan. A little more on my spoon for just a minute from now. My chicken breast, I want it perched right on the edge, just like so. And we're going to take just a little more of this sauce and drizzle it right over the top, just so you know there's something wonderful going on right up underneath it. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful dish right there, folks. Enjoy. It is a gorgeous dish. I mean, seriously. Oh, and that chicken, I've been noticing how the juices on the chicken have been running onto the plate, and they did onto that platter. So it's nice and juicy. But let's face it. Let me tell you. Delicious. This. This is the way you want your chicken. Now, I'm a Texas boy. I like grilled chicken. I love it. But when you got a really good sauce to put with that grilled chicken, that's when it really becomes special. And that's what we have right here. It's a fantastic sauce. The mushrooms, the poblano, and all that cream, it just pops. Folks, wait till you try this. Thank you so much for watching. Please, again, take a look at the links in the description box. There's my Wisio if you have questions. If you need help, check that out. Also, take a look at my website. My website is S.A.Trotter.com. That's where I have my recipes. I also have a lot of merchandise there for, well, Texas Cooking Today, as well as the merchandise that I just produce for my website. So please take a look at that. Some neat stuff there. Thank you very much for watching, folks. And you have a good day and enjoy your chicken. Bye-bye.